When I think about pride and the relationship to T1D and also mindfulness, I go back to a time when I was younger and struggled with coming out. It was a very difficult time, and it took many years to really for me to come to grips with it, with coming out, with being gay, with being able to talk about it. And I realized later on in life, the same feelings that I had and the struggles that I had and the liberation that I had to repeat all over when I was diagnosed with T1D. I was diagnosed at 56, much later in life. So it also was a choice for me. Do I talk about it? Do I tell friends? Do I accept this? What did I do to deserve this? All these feelings come out again. And so for me, I actually, in processing and writing about it, really learned to sit with that and feeling that a lot of the lessons that I learned myself, these life lessons in coming out, was in my early 20s, was very helpful to me in dealing with my T1D diagnosis. And the one thing that I felt that I very strongly connected with was also this sense of finding community. That the same way I found community as a young kid in New York City, I found community in the diabetes online community and also in diabetes in real life community, connecting with others, feeling their support, their strength, sharing their stories, which we just experienced a little bit of that already tonight. And so just a lot of parallels that I get to sit with. So in this practice tonight, I invite you to bring your full self to this practice. One of my mentors in mindfulness always encouraged me to lead with my heart. Just lead with my heart. And it's advice that my grandmother gave me also, a person that I hid my true self from. But her advice to me was lead with your heart, Peter. So I invite us all to be with our hearts tonight, to be fully open, embrace the practice. We often work so hard to protect ourselves that tonight we can just let that go and just, as we like to say in our practice, just be. Just be with yourself. So tonight I invite you all to bring your full selves to this practice. Bring the many parts of you. You're all welcome. Your anxieties, your stress, your unique gender identities, your sexual orientation, the sense of self, parts of you that you may feel shame and regret, the generations that perhaps come before us, that sit with us in our bodies for 7 generations, all their challenges and their joys that make us who we are today. Feel the weight of that. Sense that in your body, this is who you are. All the joys and sufferings. So all of the parts of you are welcome to this practice this evening. I want to begin by asking you to settle into your space, and maybe feeling the ground below you in any way that you're comfortable, whether it's sitting or lying, standing. Settling your eyes if that's helpful for you. And just begin by setting an intention tonight. So how is it that you want to be? Just breathing that in for a moment. Perhaps feeling that in your body. As we settle into the practice, I'm reminded of a story about a rock by the sea. That over time, that rock with a heart outside will be slowly worn down, changing shape by the water. this daily interaction, until at the end of time this rock begins to break up and there's just a essence of the rock that's left. Perhaps it's a grain of sand. Perhaps thinking about this being worn down by others, by life. But this grain of sand has the same elements as the rock. Looked under a microscope, the essence is the same. So I invite you also to find your inner light tonight, the essence of you. Settling in a little deeper, feeling the weight of our body, connecting with the earth below us. Feeling our breath as it enters, perhaps a rise in our chest, our shoulders on our in-breath, and a release with our out-breath. Perhaps breathing in acceptance, breathing out judgment. Breathing in compassion. Breathing out our cold-heartedness. Breathing in curiosity. Breathing out closed-mindedness. Breathing in pride. And breathing out shame. Breathing in liberation. Breathing out enslavement. Sensing any movement within our own body. These words of acceptance, compassion, curiosity, pride, and liberation. Breathing all this in. A rainbow, perhaps, of feelings as your breath carries them through your body. perhaps considering these words or feeling these words as waves that come over you, softening you. Water flowing down and continuing to break us down and open us up. Connecting us to the essence of ourselves. If your mind wanders, just take a moment to witness your mind doing what it does and watching that thought leave, returning to your breath. To acceptance, compassion, curiosity, pride, and liberation. Begin to breathe and focus our breath on our heart, our breathing heart. As if our heart had lungs and can breathe on its own. Feeling that connection in your body. Invite you to think of a memory or a thought, something that you were very fond of, perhaps a moment of pride in your life, something you were so proud of. Could be a personal accomplishment or something that just made you smile within, something that you accepted, shared in the joy. Can you connect with this feeling of complete acceptance and celebration? If you're struggling for something for yourself, perhaps it's with a friend or a dear loved one. Proud in watching them. Seeing if you can hone in on these feelings in the body, anything that's bubbling up, and maybe give it a color. Perhaps any colors of the rainbow, and red, yellow, green. Sense what you feel. Perhaps sensing these colors coming from your body. What does this feel like? Where do you feel this? Now imagine those who love you dearly, perhaps receiving these colors of your joy, and you get to witness them smiling, just excited to be in your presence, feeling all these colors from your heart. Perhaps saying these words out loud or to yourself. May I be celebrated. May I be appreciated. May I accept myself for who I am. May I live my life free of judgments, with peace and ease. If you can set this aside, this feeling, these colors in your heart, bring to mind in your body a memory, perhaps something from today or the past, or perhaps even an idea of the future, a difficult time, difficult moment, when perhaps you felt shame, perhaps when you judge yourself harshly, where are you sensing this? What does it look like? Does it have a color or a temperature? And if it's too difficult, perhaps lessen that by letting the thought go and thinking about something not as painful for you. Times that you may judge yourself unnecessarily. Just sensing your body where you may feel these emotions. You may say these phrases out loud or to yourself. May I be celebrated. May I be appreciated. May I accept myself for who I am. May I live my life free of judgments. Live my life in peace and ease. Sensing now any connection in your own body to these words, where you may feel comfort, appreciated, accepted. I invite you to reflect back on the colors of your heart. The colors that you wrap yourself in, celebrating yourself, that moment of pride. These colors that represent emotions and feeling yourself being held by these colors. Perhaps in this moment to connect with your breath and to sense that inner spark, that inner grain of sand that exists. That's the goodness of you. Breathing that into your body. Perhaps repeating these words out loud or to yourself. I celebrate me. I appreciate me. I accept myself for my true nature. I live my life fully with freedom and pride, and live my life with ease and peace. And as we sit together tonight as a Sangha, perhaps connecting with the others in this space, recognizing the beautiful light that exists within each of us, a rainbow of colors that emanate from our heart, touching each one of us, connecting us. I invite you to bring your attention back to your breath. Breathing in a deeper breath, filling your lungs. And I'd like to share this quote by Sharon Salzberg. I believe in the possibility of a world where our interconnection is deeply known and a motivating force, when no one is left out, where the innate dignity of every person is acknowledged, and where hatred and fear and greed can be tempered. I believe in a world where change might be hard, but it's always seen as possible, however stuck we may feel in any given moment. I believe in a world where we can have wisdom to guide us, where we can have love to propel us, and we can have the support of one another to try to accomplish a vision of inclusion and care. I also believe in justice, in a world where actions have consequences, where people are held accountable, even as we try to take care of one another. And I believe in a world where fluidity and softness of love, like water, might superficially seem like the weakest thing of all, but lo and behold, it's indomitable. It can even wear away rock. As we begin to close our practice this evening, feeling the connection to ourselves and each other. Bringing some slight movement back to your body wherever that feels comfortable. Bringing some movement to your toes. Feeling your ankles, your legs perhaps. Noticing the temperature of your body. The space around you as it supports you in these movements. Feeling your hands, your torso. You like to give yourself a hug. And when it feels comfortable for you to begin to return to this space, to this Sangha.